Liberian people, Liberia is the only country that we have. Young people don't allow anybody to use you to say they are not satisfied because they didn't win. Let us accept the result and then let us move on with our country. We have fought war in this country.
My name is Julia Donnelly.
My name is Allison Hemingway.
I'm a senior studying English and corporate communication.
I am a senior here at Purdue University studying film and video studies and mass communication.
I got into the Purdue Peace Project kind of just on accident, honestly.
So when Julia and I first got involved with the Purdue Peace Project, we were both a part of a liberal arts honors college learning community where we took some kind of research-oriented class. So both of us opted for the communication version of that class, and Dr. Stacy Connaughton was the one who taught it. She was the director and still is the director of the Purdue Peace Project, so all of our research revolved around the various topics and communities and projects that were happening in the Purdue Peace Project.
It was some class on peace building. I didn't know what that was. But basically, Stacy Connaughton was the teacher, and she totally changed the course of my education. She told us all about their initiatives of locally led peace in West Africa, in Ghana, in Liberia, in El Salvador. And it really started to change the way I thought about peace, the way I thought about my education, the way I thought about Purdue. Because Purdue is first and foremost a research institution, and that was something I never thought that I would get to be a part of. Just because, I was studying English and communication and, I was at an engineering school. But being in the Purdue Peace Project kind of started to change my outlook, and I realized that we could make a much bigger impact than just being students getting our degrees.
The Purdue Peace Project is an externally funded political violence prevention initiative at Purdue University. We are housed within Discovery Park, and we have close ties to my home department, the Brian Lamb School of Communication, the College of Liberal Arts, amongst other programs at Purdue. The objective of the Purdue Peace Project is to work with local citizens in conflict-prone regions of the world to journey with them while they design, lead, and implement violence prevention strategies. We believe that Purdue University is a perfect location for this, which is why Purdue alumnus Milton Lowenstein in 2011 returned to his alma mater to begin conversations with Purdue about developing the program here. And so the primary role of the Purdue Peace Project, we like to call it journeying with a local peace committee to provide that sort of instrumental but then also symbolic and social support to them as they lead the efforts to reduce violence in their own communities.
We always wanted the chance to go abroad and actually see these places and these people that we've been working with. And we approached Stacy with the idea that we could go to Liberia, and as part of our capstone project, we could film a documentary about the kind of work that they were doing there, because we both believe in the power of storytelling, and we think the power of any person's story can help change the world and change perspectives and inspire others to do good work. And the kind of grassroots, community level, locally led peace building that was happening in all of these different projects, and especially through what we saw in Liberia, we thought was so important for the rest of the world to know, and especially for the Purdue community to know about.
The Purdue Peace Project entered Liberia in 2013 under the direction of Grace Yianni, an activist in Montserrado County. She saw the conflict and violence her community was facing in the aftermath of the Civil War, and with the support of the Purdue Peace Project, helped to establish the Penpen Peace Network.
I was one of the founders of the Penpen Peace Network. As an institution, we worked on peace-building initiative, and when we got in touch with the Purdue Peace Project, we felt it was an opportunity to do peace-building from a different perspective, because the normal peace-building initiatives is from the top-bottom approach. But this time around, this was an approach that came from the bottom top. So for me, it was something that drew my attention that, hey, this is another way that I can venture and see whether we can make maximum impact in our communities. So that was one of the reasons why I joined the Penpen Peace Network, or why I was one of those that established the Penpen Peace Network.
The Penpen Peace Network began in Montserrado County as an effort to design and launch a violence prevention campaign in Monrovia. Its influence has spread throughout the entire country of Liberia. There are now 3 more counties that are a part of the larger Penpen Peace Network. These are Nimba, Bong, and Margibi.
When we got there, it was overwhelming the amount of people that greeted us with open arms and welcomed us to their various communities. We were quite literally off the plane greeted by a huge crowd of people, all with open arms.
I was blown away by the welcoming nature of the people. Every time we went somewhere, every person we talked to said the same 3 words: you are welcome. You are welcome here. You're welcome in our country. And to fly thousands of miles halfway across the world was a feat in itself, and then to be gladly welcomed was really moving and touching, and it made me realize that this is why we're doing this, because they are wonderful people and they want this more than anything. And if we can document that, if we can watch that happen, if we can be a part of that, then we will have succeeded.
Well, the Penpen Peace Network is people from different backgrounds, like the Marketing Association, Minister of Transport, you get a Ministry of Youth and Sport coordinator, you get somebody from the Superintendent Office, and the 2 motorcycle union form part of the Penpen Peace Network, started by Sis Grace Yene about 2 years ago to engage motorcyclists about peace, because after disarmament and the peace process, what happened next, how to live with people in the society. So those are some of the things the Penpen Peace Network is engaged in, to talk about peace, or how we all can sustain the peace in Liberia.
The Penpen Peace Network, you know, they have, when the motorcyclists started riding, they have these smaller box. It used to make this sound called Pim 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 Pim. Yeah, it was how the group was named. So this is why we called ourselves the Penpen Peace Network. We noticed that, you know, motorcyclists were not in Liberia before the war. And after the war, when they had a disarmament process, the motorcyclists, the guys that were fighting, had nothing to do in society. They went to nearby countries and they saw the motorbikes and they decided to bring it into Liberia.
There were a bunch of ex-combatants of the Civil War who were child soldiers. They traded their weapons and for motorcycles, and so a lot of them worked as Penpen taxi riders to make a living, and they were known for being violent and just being rough, and the police officers had a lot of problems with them. The 2 groups, the Penpen riders and the police officers, had a history of disrespecting each other. When the Purdue Peace Project came in, they aimed to resolve that problem.
When you hear the word peace, it gives you the mind of stability. Based on the fact that our country, where we came from, we were all scattered about and couldn't understand one another. So to be involved in peacemaking, to be involved in peace building was something that really I desire and I love to do. That is what motivated me to actually do it.
What makes the Purdue Peace Project's work so unique is that it utilizes a locally led approach.
MILT's vision was one in which university faculty and students would collaborate with local citizens in West Africa around political violence prevention. And his mission was quite simple. He wanted to test a theory of change that, if convened together in a representative and inclusive way, local citizens would be able to come up with effective strategies for preventing violence. Their strategies would be more effective than strategies that come from the outside, which is really at the heart of locally driven peace building.
You know, there's a stigma of people, Americans, Europeans, going into these third world countries and making all this change, helping so much. And that's just not true. It's a collaborative effort more than anything. And if I learned anything from the Liberian people, it's that we need to make changes in our own communities, here and abroad, because they're starting from the ground up, they're on the ground, they're doing the work, and that's what we need to do too.
Yes, local approach work because the problem from the grassroots is not from the leadership. The grassroots is not the problem. So if we are community organization for peace, a way it start to work gradually until everybody understood what Penpen Peace Network is all about.
The Penpen Peace Network has designed and implemented 3 major projects to promote peace within Liberia: the Penpen Drivers Project, Ebola Prevention Campaign, and Peaceful Election projects, along with countless community events, gatherings, games, and marches, have all played a unique role in spreading peace.
Before the Penpen Peace Network, we all came from war. The violence was just in all. There were no organization to sensitize us to tell you why it's not good to do violence, to tell you why if you do violence, what become of you. So we just live like that in Liberia. So at the end of the day, everybody just live in a violent way. If you hate me, I hate you. If you hear me, I hear you. I mean, we just live, all of us just live like kind of violent way.
Well, we used to have violence all around here, people fighting one another. We come in and give calm to them, in a sense that, we try to explain to them this is not good, this is your brother, your sister, or your aunt, so we are all one family.
In our country, Liberia, we have a lot of things that has been going on around us, especially when it comes to election spirit in our country. We have a lot of things that people continue to say where they don't have the mindset of peace. And as a result, sometimes when after the election, you can see that there are things that can go on differently. People think about war. People think about not settling the country the best way.
Everyone in Liberia consider the 2017 elections to be a turning point in Liberia. Leadership transferring power to another. We have not had that for a number of years, decades. So we have always had this issue of war, coup, and so. So everybody thought that there would have been a great deal of problem in the elections. And for the mentality of the people who live in Liberia now, after the war, people changed, people's attitude changed. People were very disgruntled. And for the number of political parties that we have, no one would have thought that the election would have gone smooth.
We notice in Liberia, during election time, there can be violence. Because more people, they are for different political parties. From the initial stage, other people will go on the other side, they will block the road, they will stop the other people from passing. People will be there arguing with one another, and we will talk to them about peace.
Yeah, as I said, the program was unique because one of the issues that channel peace, like sport, in Liberia, sporting brings people together. I don't care how tough it can be. People come under the umbrella of sport. And we have community meetings. So the town hall meeting was strategic. The sporting event bringing everybody together. The games, the elderly involved, Ludo, other things, Scrabble, bringing everybody on board. Not limited to only one sector. And the whole program was intended for, bridging the gap. At that time, my involvement with the network. We were very serious because in the past there was some problem. And I speak the truth. The network really helped us with the awareness. I mean, going to the various parking, using our microphone. There was something also strange from the guys. Police engaging them, talking to them, having a cultural performance, with dancing together, taking the message to them, and they understood what we were going for. So it was very unique.
For this election, we were able to carry out an assignment that brought peace. Before, after the election, the opposite party, you see them fighting, they don't want to, relate. Now you see them, if you play music, they dance together, there is no violence. After the election, even before the election, the Penpen Peace Network have really made impact. There was other organization too that's preaching peace, that this is the only country we have, we don't need to destroy it, we don't need to fight each other. So we're able to carry out some.
Communities are ever changing, and there will always be a need for more solutions because there will always be discomfort, as with any society. We have rarely seen people so passionate because they see the results in their homes, in their relationships, in their worlds.
In Liberia particularly, as you talk to them more, you kind of realize that these are people who have witnessed and who have lived through civil war when they were like either kids or they were young, and how that experience kind of has affected them, but how they have overcome it to a certain extent, but they are really looking forward to what is coming up and now in the country. And that hope, you know, this whole idea of one Liberia, we just have this our one country.
The war end, we still live in a society, people try to work with us, people try to forgive us, and then we want to become a good citizen into Liberia. I don't want no more war in my life. I don't want to be part of violence no longer.
Thank God for the organizer of the Purdue Peace Project. I pray that God will bless her and the donors will continue to support. They will not be weak, they will not be reluctant, they will not be tired. Till peace can continue to be in Liberia, I pray that God will provide for them to support.
The Penpen Peace Network actually it should continue, because the fact is that the peace needs to be sustained. If we get a peace and we cannot, then all the effort is in vain. Then all what we did would be in vain. We want us to continue, right? Because with you, you know, there are things that we couldn't do for ourselves, right? And we see ourselves doing them. So I would like to recommend that, you know, we go nationwide, that the project stays and be a vibrant one, and, you know, we can do something that will strike, that will claim the attention of the whole Republic of Liberia, even as well as the president. That the president can one day say in his annual speech and just talk and say, oh, I would like to congratulate the Purdue project in America for the Penpen Peace Network, because these are people who have really made our country to be stable at this particular time. Yeah, I would like to see that happening.
It's changed my life, and I want it to continue to keep changing other people's lives because it's made so much of an impact on me, Purdue and the Peace Project, and I hope it can continue to change people's lives the way it did for me, especially students here at Purdue. I think it can really make a difference.
I realized what it means to be a global citizen. You are owning more cultures than just your own. You are saying we are one world, we are one earth, we are one people. And really getting to sit across the table from someone and share their culture, their traditions, is something I'll never forget.
We are hoping that we will also see each other in working together, collaborating with each other so that we can build, because there is one word, just one word for all of us. Whether white, whether black, whether brown, whether red, we all have just one word.